Hi everyone, it's John Mitchell. In this video, we're going to start on the employment cycle, which is pretty much the second part of Area of Study 1. So we're still in Area of Study 1, Human Resource Management, but now we're looking at the employment cycle. So let's take a look at what it is. The employment cycle is stages the employment relationship goes through. So when we spoke about what human resource management is, we said it's the management of the relationship between the employer and the employee. Well, that relationship has to begin at some stage, and that's where we go through the establishment phase, and then while that relationship is being, I suppose, the employees within the organisation, then we call that the maintenance phase. And at some stage, the employee, for whatever reason, whether it be their own choosing or the organisation's choosing, they will leave the organisation, and that relationship will then be terminated, which is what termination is. So 3 phases of the employment cycle. Establishment is where we're looking to begin the relationship. Maintenance is during their working time at the organisation, and termination is when the relationship is ending. So we're going to break this up into lots of different videos, so because there's lots of different parts in each one of those 3 phases. So we're beginning with the establishment phase, which, as I said, includes all the activities involved in beginning a relationship with an employee. And these are some of the activities or strategies involved in that particular section. So we've got human resource planning, which this video is about today, job analysis and job design, job description, job specifications, recruitment, selection, and employment arrangements and remuneration. So we're going to do videos on each one of those sections. And today's video is looking at human resource planning. Human resource planning focused on getting the right people in the right jobs at the right time. Those 3 points are really important, and really, in a nutshell, that's what human resource planning is. Getting the right people into the organisation, in the right jobs, that's also important, but also at the right time, because organisations, will grow in size, they'll shrink in size, and make structural changes and all those types of things. So we can't have too many employees, and we can't have too less employees. It's important that we have them there at the right time. It looks for the future human resource needs of the organisation, and then I suppose compares that to what they currently have. And if there's any varying requirements there, then the human resource manager needs to adjust. So it might be that they need to get more employees, they need to reduce the amount of employees, or they need different types of employees. Whatever it is, it's looking at the future human resource needs of the organisation. So what type of employees, how many employees are required in the organisation into the future. So the numbers of employees are important. Often when we talk about human resource planning, students talk about, well, it's about numbers, and that is important. But human resource planning is also about the knowledge or the types of jobs that are required and the types of people that are required to do those jobs. So there's no point just, if we're expanding and we need an extra 100 people, there's no point just getting, 100 people of anyone. We need to know what jobs they need to do, and we also need to plan who is best suited to those jobs. So what qualifications do they need and those type of things. So numbers, yes, that's important. We need to have the right amount of people, but we also have to have the right type of people to fulfill the jobs that we need into the future. And without human resource planning, or without effective human resource planning, the organisation may have too many employees, not enough employees, or the wrong type of employees. And it's important that human resource planning is done really well, so that the organisation is efficient into the future, and there's no lacking in terms of skills. All right, we want to expand, or we want to create a new product, or we want to go down an innovative line, but we don't have the types of employees that can do that. So just an example, let's look at Aussie Commerce Group. It's one of Australia's fastest growing companies, listed in as one of the top 100. In fact, I think it was inside the top 10 fastest growing companies in Australia. It's an e-commerce retailer, so they have lots of different e-commerce sites where selling different types of products, both services and goods. And so numerous brands, including brands exclusive, which is sort of your designer type clothing, Kudo, which some of you have probably heard of, Luxury Escapes, Deals.com.au, and there's many, many more. And they're continually looking to expand. As a growing company, human resource planning is really crucial here, because obviously as they grow, they're probably going to need more people. But often what happens in an organisation is when they're growing quickly, they just employ lots of different people. It's important that it's done well. So they currently have around about 250 employees, but what do they need into the future? As they grow and they bring on new e-commerce websites and deliver different products and services, well, they may need some buyers. So they need to look at, all right, how many buyers do we need? What types of skills and qualifications do they require? We may need new web designers. We're expanding, so we need a bigger team of web designers. We may need more warehouse employees, or we're opening up different warehouses across different locations, so we need lots of employees to work in the warehouses, and the list would go on. They need managers, they need office people, etc., etc. But that's all part of human resource planning. So just to recap, the first strategy in establishment phase is human resource planning. It's getting the right people in the right positions at the right time. So asking questions like, how many people do we need? What jobs are required? What qualifications and skills are required? When do we need them? Where do we need them? That's all part of human resource planning. And if we do that really effectively, then we can get the right people in the right place at the right time. For questions, activities, and more, then come on over to teachingbubble.com.